Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Waltons review. We had a fabulous episode today called The Start, and with me to review this episode is Resolute. Germ. How are you doing today, Germ?
Not too bad, Gorilla. How are you doing?
Yeah, I left work 2 hours early today, so fuck it. Yeah, more of my daycare was closed, but that's a different song. I'll take the win where I can take it.
Yeah.
So, oh shoot, these headphones are real low. So, let's set that to the stream there. And let's get this. We're starting out with the intro here with read by what's his name, the creator.
Walton's mountain is as old as the earth itself. For countless centuries, it has quietly shouldered the sky above the land on which our family settled, built, and flourished. Through all its seasons, through all the great and small events of our lives, the mountain was changeless, as fixed and as permanent as the glittering stars above. And then there was an evening in the 1930s, which started all of us wondering how fixed or permanent anything is, even a star.
Alrighty, so we start out with that. Oh shoot, God, that's the one thing I hate about this one. Alrighty, so we're starting out. They're all sitting there watching the things, and God, I hate this source. But anyhow, they're all sitting out there in the twilight zone here, and we'll talk about this here. I'm gonna find something else here real quick.
Try Freebie.
So, no, I got a different one here. But anyhow, they're all sitting out there watching the stars. And they see the first star there, star of the night, which Elizabeth's the first one to see it, so she gets the wish apparently. I never wished on the first star, but we've always wished on shooting stars. How about your family?
None of the above.
You guys never wished upon stars and stuff?
The only reference I have about Wish Upon a Star as a child was the Disney song.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't. I guess I never. Yeah, that'd be from Peter Pan, isn't it?
Probably. I just remember it from all the Disneyland ads.
Or was that? Or was that from the not Pinocchio?
It might be Pinocchio.
It's from the Pinocchios there, because with that there it got he became a boy.
Yeah, as I said, my main frame of reference is the Disneyland commercials.
Your Disneyland commercials? Oh,
Yeah.
I know what's going on. My ad blockers. But the bad.
It is Pinocchio.
It was Pinocchio that we seen at the Wish.
Yeah, that's where the song's from.
Yeah, I figured that was. Because that's when he became the boy in there.
Yeah.
Now, where does the whole the shooting star become a death omen? This is like one of the few times I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I've never really heard that before either. They have either just made that up themselves or just pick some random folktale or something.
Yeah, it had to have been a Uh, okay, now I think I got it. My ad blocker just wasn't being very good.
Yeah,
No,
that's half the problem with those sites. Your ad blocker is going to stop half the content.
well, it wasn't stopping it, but it's just putting it right in the middle of the thing. Now, what's the hell is a gloaming? They used to call this twilight gloam in the gloaming. What the hell is that even supposed to mean?
No idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and then here Jim Bob's in there, not Jim Bob, Ben's in there studying, but he's kind of keeping it a secret. But like the family should have noticed he wasn't out there. So that, like they should have experience tracking 7 kids.
Yeah, they have experience. Keep an eye on a few of them, and well, if one of them gets lost in the chaos, there's 6 more.
Well, the reason they used to have 7 to 10 kids apiece back in the day was because half of them weren't expected to make it
Right.
past childhood. So you'd have at least 5 to work the fields, but a lot of them weren't expected to make it.
Yeah, that's why you hope for a good mix of girls and boys. So
Yeah.
half of them could work the field, the other half could stay at home and help the mom. And if either side lost a few heads, there were more to replace them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that may be sounding like an ass, but that's the way it is there. And welcome, pop culture curator. Welcome to the stream there.
Hey, Bob.
Alrighty. So John Boy's up here writing, 1,000 words a day. That's a lot of fucking writing. I don't even think I did a quarter of that a day back at school.
He may have been setting himself up for failure there.
Oh no, he's a writer, so he must not hurt his hand as much as like gripping the pencil all day long did for me. You know that little twinge you get in your finger when you've been writing for a while?
Yeah.
He doesn't have
But I
anything
guess-
to write about. What were we saying?
Because pop culture saying gloaming is another word for dusk.
Oh, okay. That makes sense now. And then here this is when they see the star. They actually didn't do a half bad job on this for the 70s there. I like the little cross look. Like
Yeah,
a
for the
twinkling
For the 70s, that's very good.
there. So they're telling him to come out. And then they're comparing that his writing will never be done. It's like counting the leaves on a willow tree or something like that. Oh, they see the shooting star there. I wonder if I can get it.
And apparently Grandpa's name is Zeb.
Yeah, I knew that.
I always thought it was John, just like his son and grandson.
Nope, it's Zebediah or something, or Zebediah, or Zebediah, I think is his full name. So here we get this here.
Sorry, Grandma.
Then,
Even the stars in the sky tonight.
yeah, you can't count the stars. That's when they see the shooting star. Yeah, there's Grandpa. He sees it. He gets a twinge in his.
What is it?
He gets a twinge in his heart.
Look! Right there!
And there it is. That almost looks like the old Sputnik. Like Sputnik, like you remember in the old movies when they were trying to show Sputnik there? There, it almost looks like that was. And
Honestly, they probably used footage of a satellite.
Yeah, probably. Then I'll turn the sound off. We don't need. It's amazing that they could tell exactly where it landed. They said near the Baldwin place. It's kind of area where you can tell exactly whose place it's landing by. That sparsely populated area. Oh wait, I don't need to do that today.
Yeah, that's okay enough, I guess.
And John and John Boy, they're going to go check it out there.
Yeah.
And all the kids want to go along, but nope, scoot off to bed. And this is when Zeb starts acting weird. But
I'll
we
give
don't figure out.
I'll give him creative lessons on the manner of which the star fell.
You'll give him props for that?
I'll give him excuses because if it was anywhere near realistic, it wouldn't have made good television.
Yeah.
And it sort of would have blown away the Baldwin house.
Oh, yeah, I was going to get to that as soon as we got to the star there. But they left out a word in their subtitles here. She goes, I don't need 2 Walton kids chasing after a shooting star. She said kids. There was enough. 2 Walton kids chasing that. So she's referred to John and John Boy as both the kids. Scoots them all off to bed. Then you got the Baldwin's place here. Now, in all realistic, this whole place would be gone. And that floor, they're recounting their story. They're lucky they weren't sitting in the recipe room there. And they're lucky their machine didn't get taken out.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, that house would be on fire and destroyed. Or at least the wood would be on fire from how hot that meteorite would be. Because that meteorite would be a couple thousand degrees. It would be annihilating all that wood, and anything in that room would be super, super hot and catching on fire.
Something that size, if it didn't burn up on entry, it would have exploded on impact.
Yeah. Or at least, and everything in the place would be caught on fire here, like these drapes and all that, because it'd be really hot in that room from the temperature.
At the barest of minimum. More than likely, it'd be like shooting a railgun into the place.
Yeah.
It'd take you a couple of days to realize there was a place there.
That's a pretty good shot of the still. I like that still.
That is a very impressive still.
Papa made it himself. Then they think this star is a sign from Papa. There. And naturally, everybody's starting to come see about it, so they pull out the recipe for the special occasion. I was surprised. I don't think we ever see Livy yelling at John or them yelling at Grandpa for coming home with the recipe on their breath. Now, I'm pretty sure John's not getting any that night, but that's a different song.
Yeah, well, she's an understanding woman.
Yeah, but
and Grandma don't care no more.
But she absolutely hates the Baldwin sisters and their bootleg whiskey. But yet John comes home with it on her breath. Or I mean,
he knew where she knew where he was going.
So
in all honesty, if there was any damage, she knew he's the only one in that county who's going to be fixing it.
Yeah, and in all fairness, though, it's not like he goes over there all the time to get drunk. He didn't come home slopping, tipping over drunk or anything. Just a little taster.
Yeah, just a little dignified. Not getting wasted, nothing like that.
Yeah, and here Ben comes in to study his Stu's more of his studying. There, then they're talking about it there. The star was on the floor and the recipe was flowing like water. And Olivia and Grandma, they're both like it's a pity that the still got missed. They're probably hoping that still will have gotten nailed.
Well, yeah, they're the type of prudes that got prohibition passed.
Yeah. And here's Zeb's all acting weird. So grandma's telling him to go to bed. I think her first name's like Esther or Ethel or something like that. I'll remember as the time comes by. So they haul him out to bed. They're asking if they should go to the doctor. Say if he's not feeling better in the morning, yeah. Blah blah blah. Now apparently that their meteorite there made the news. Ben's in a rush to get to school. Ben's in a rush to get to school, so they're all off to school. Oh, there we go. They're worried about Grandpa there. Oh, she was putting up such a fuss he won't get out of bed, and that's when John has to come in. I'll play this scene here. It's a good scene.
You've earned a rest. Yes, maybe I have. Grandpa, you feeling bad? No, not just now.
So yeah, they get. So John's trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him, but he's just having trouble there. Zeb's feeling all right. He's not all right, But at least in this, unlike in Star Trek, when someone's acting off, they actually go and try to do something about it, versus Star Trek, they wait the entire episode, then maybe figure, oh, maybe something's off.
Last night, I was sitting out there on the porch. There was a sudden catch, just when that shooting star fell.
So yeah, you seen that earlier when he leaned over and he grabbed his chest right when he saw the star.
Yeah.
Quite a long spell, I couldn't get my breath. Then it stopped. I haven't felt so bad since.
So he had a panic
There's
attack.
some connection between that star and the way you feel.
Well, I think it's more like a muscle spasm.
Said a panic attack.
I do.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I should ask Doc Shackleford to stop by.
Oh, you got better things.
It's kind of nice that they have the family doctor that can come right to the house. They don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, the community is small enough, and quite frankly, his office really isn't that adequate.
Yeah.
Give you an exam.
Examinations and doctors cannot interfere with the natural course of things.
Yeah, puppy full enough drugs they could.
There's nothing natural about you being too tired to get out of bed.
1930, he'd
I haven't heard
be lucky
that.
if he has enough drugs in his possession to cure a freaking scraped knee.
Oh heck, just pump him, just give him a little cocaine. You're good.
It's about 50 years off.
Or what? Well, they had opiates back then
Yeah, but they
that weren't regulated.
not as regulated, but it wasn't as common practice to just throw them around by that time.
Are you sure about that? I thought the opiates was the big craze, the cure-all drugs.
In the late 19th, early 20th century, but by the 20s and 30s, it started to slow down.
Oh, okay. Too many people hooked on them.
Doc's long-winded stories in a long time.
Too many flappers on that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, I'm just going to invite him by. I haven't heard one of his stories anyhow. So he's just going to ask him to stop by.
As you please, son.
And you don't get any argument from Grandpa. So you know something's wrong when Grandpa doesn't argue about a doctor and all that. And here we got the spelling bee. This kid spelled "ought" wrong. Then
Ain't even a damn word.
back then it might have been. So it comes down to Ben and this blonde-haired gal. So they're doing the spelling words. Then apparently they're up to the Revolutionary War of Valley Forge. So Evelyn comes out there, tells them all to be quiet, put their shit down, and get the hell out of here. There's something wrong with Grandpa. So John Boy takes him to go see the star. So they all go off running to go see the star. Wait. Did they have plug-in irons back in the day?
That I'm not sure about.
Because this seems a little off. This seems like 20
That
years.
That doesn't actually look like a plug-in iron that, for some reason, has a cord on it. That looks wrong somehow.
Oh, that seems like 20 years too soon for that.
I guess pop culture says morphine was pretty big then.
Oh yeah, morphine was, because that's all the soldiers even carried in case they got shot. They had something keeping them
They
feeling
still
good,
do
at
for the
least.
most part.
What?
They still do for the most part.
Oh, do they still carry morphine?
The similar drugs.
Okay.
It may be something a little different than morphine, but it's some pretty strong shit.
Yeah, but I'm still hung up on this here, because I didn't think they had stuff that really plugged in at the time. That's like, especially an iron. I thought they'd have to heat the iron up and then iron it, by hand, heat it up by hand, like either on a fire stove or.
Honestly, I'm surprised they have electricity.
I can see the light bulb and all that having electricity and all that, but that still seems off.
Yeah, but no, I mean, pure where they are in the country at that time. It seems very odd that they would have electricity.
Well, they're not too far from Charlottesville. That's a pretty big town. They're like 30 miles from Charlottesville.
I guess, but still. At that time, electricity was a hell of a luxury for that area of the country.
Yeah. So then, then this is where we get introduced to cousin. He's trying to kick him out. He's gonna start charging people to see it. There's cousin Polonius. He was from Richmond there. The first time you see him, you could tell he was a scumbag. He's just trying to rob his cousins there, Emily and let's see. The Baldwin sisters are Miss Emily, and Miss Mamie.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, you could tell he was gonna rob them for every cent he could when they came over here. But the Baldwin sisters let him in. He's looking disappointed. And in the background, did you notice in the background he was still in a couple jars of the recipe?
Yeah, and John Boy was eyeing him the whole time.
Yeah. Then they all got to touch it. Now this was pretty sweet of Elizabeth there. She didn't want to touch the star because she wanted to give all the luck to Ben for his spelling quiz because she's the only one that knows he's in a spelling bee.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So she's giving all her luck to Ben.
I guess they did have electric irons.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, according to Pop. I'm not surprised about that so much as I am that a Hicksville area like that actually had electricity.
Yeah.
Because they're even a few miles out of town.
Yeah.
The small town that they are near, they're a few miles outside of that. So them having electricity, I would be sort of doubtful.
Yeah. And here's something I wanted to ask you on. If you know, I'm muted here, but notice that he's just tapping his own finger on the chest. Like he has one hand on there and he just taps the finger. What the hell's that do?
I've seen him do that with the stethoscope, but I didn't see him using the. He may have the
No,
stethoscope there.
he had his hand on it. Then he just tapped his finger. Like, what the hell's that supposed to do? I have absolutely no idea.
I guess he'd hear something in his chest, like having fluid on the lung or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. And this is when he hears about the star. There, He's a man. He has because Grandpa's one of those. He likes to have his own beliefs and old urban legends in there. So he got his position that the star meant the sign of death, and that because there shakes his hand. This is when the doctor tells him that Grandpa just pretty much lost the will to live.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so they're all kind of confused. They don't know how to get him out. And that's when the kids find out, they're all sad and that, and John's getting tired of hearing about it. They don't want to go to school, but they tell him to go to school anyhow. Because to Evelyn, their education is very important. I don't think John could care less if they stayed home for one day, but Evelyn wasn't going to have a thing to do with that. So they had the school anyhow. And this is the argument when they start having an argument. She goes, she could be just as stubborn as he is. He's refusing to eat, and she's trying to get him to force him to eat and stuff, but he won't eat. Then there's this scene here.
Remember that big old white oak tree that stands all by itself on the banks of the Cyclamen River?
Yeah, that's a hard man. That'd be a hard river to. Why would someone name it the Cyclone River? That'd be like hard to pronounce. But it must be kind of nice where you can pick areas like that you can just be buried at. Now you got the regulations where you can't be buried just anywhere no more. It seems like.
Why couldn't they? It's their land.
Yeah.
You can still bury people on your own private property.
Yeah,
In
but
most
like
states, anyway.
I can't ask to go get buried by next to the river and all that citing health regulations and that stuff because my body fluids could sweep into the river, or my bones can, or the erosion, all that other shit.
Up on the mountain?
Of course I remember. As long as I can remember, that was your favorite place.
I think John should have caught on what's going on here right away.
He has.
Now, well, I don't think he just catch quite on because a couple minutes, like a minute down more in the conversation.
Hey, Pa, I'm going to need your help in the sawmill today. If I'm ever going to get that regular contract for those railroad ties, I got to deliver a load before this day's over.
I think Grandpa will have already known that. I think he knows that John's full of shit. He could get it done if he really wanted to.
Yeah. He's just trying to prod the old man into action.
Yeah.
Oh, are they pushing you too much, son?
Can't do it myself, but you and me together.
Don't count on me.
Now, Grandpa.
Maybe John, boy.
I think this is the first time Grandpa's ever let him down. Or one of the first times.
If you just get out of this bed and feel the sun on your face.
Now Grandpa can't believe that his own sons talk to him like that.
Why you ask me about that old oak?
Because that's where I want to be buried when my time comes.
You think they'd have that conversation ahead of time, like quite a few years back, just in case something happened?
Well, he probably didn't care up until that point.
Yeah, but do you think it, or maybe it's in his will?
Now, that time is a whole lot of years away.
Maybe tomorrow? Maybe the next day?
You felt a twinge. You saw a star fall. That's no reason to stay in your bed and pick out your grave.
Shooting star means death, son.
I wonder if John actually believes any of the superstitions that that Zeb does.
No. I think he made that quite clear. But during the episode that he thought he was being a foolish old man.
Yeah.
Ocean, no one's ever proved that.
Mark Twain said that he came in with Halley's Comet and he would go out with Halley's Comet, and he did. And I
just fucking Mark Twain. Two people, and that's all the proof he needed.
proved it for myself. My own daddy, your grandpa, he was the soundest man in this county. And one evening, we was coming home from a barn raising.
Barn raising, that's putting up a barn, ain't it?
Yeah.
And joshing, that must be joking around.
Yeah.
Joshing and laughing, and all of a sudden, in the sky, right up there above us, there was this shooting star. And I watched his eyes as it trailed onto the ground. Next morning, he was dead.
So he had a heart attack in the middle of the night, and that's his proof. So that's the end of that scene, pretty much. And now they're back to the spelling bee there, and they both get success wrong. So it has to go on to a third day. And John Boy is fixing the roof. Then there's this guy, Colonel Teku Henderson. Oh, the Bluegrass Hendersons. I don't know what the hell the Bluegrass Hendersons were, but I'm guessing that's a family.
It's just yeah, it's a family name.
I'm guessing they're from Tennessee.
Judging by the way he was acting and talking, yeah.
Yeah, the John Boy's there. And he's telling them they'll just get nickels and dimes for taking it across country there. He wants something bigger. So they decide to sell, they want the recipe.
Yeah, sure, take the recipe. Just stay the hell away from Chicago, or else you're going to get a very mad Al Capone on you.
Well, there's actually a law in the books right now that's still in the books in Chicago that it's illegal to get fish drunk. That comes back to this era here where they bring a lot of alcohol in on the boats on the Great Lakes there. And when the cops would come up on their boats there, they quickly throw all the shit overboard so they couldn't get caught with it. So they made the law that it was illegal to get a fish drunk. I don't know how many jars are sitting at the bottom of the fucking it's not Lake Erie, it's Lake Michigan.
Michigan or Superior.
No, it's not Superior. It's not Superior. No, Erie's over by New York. I don't know. Look that. Yeah. Now that got me curious here. Because I was paused. Yeah, that's Lake Michigan. There. Yeah, that'd be Lake Michigan. Because Superior's up by Minnesota and Wisconsin there and cuts off at the northern peninsula of Michigan there. Then you got Lake Erie down by Pennsylvania and Ohio. What's the other one? Lake Ontario's New York and Ontario. Lake Huron's up on the northern half of the southern Michigan there that goes on there. So, yeah, it's Lake Michigan.
Okay. I've never been to the Great Lakes and, well, never really cared about the Great Lakes before, so I wouldn't have any idea. I've never
been to them, but my state borders one, so. Okay, anyhow, back on track. They say it's a one-of-a-kind recipe, so they're trying to think of a way to get the machine. So, Cousin Polonius says, leave that to me. They tell him it's a warning to from Papa to get rid of it. That what they're doing is a sin and get rid of all the jars. Here the whole time John Boy's listening. So they agreed to get rid of it. Then Polonius said he'll pretty much take care of it. It's their duty. So yeah.
He's going to find the bootlegging market a little bit more difficult than he thinks.
Yeah, he doesn't have the protection of the sheriff's there because Miss Emily and Miss Mamie pretty much have the sheriff's protection without even knowing it. Because the sheriff knows what the hell's going on. He probably swings by quite a bit for the recipe, but he doesn't have that protection.
Hell, it's not the law he has to worry about; it's the other bootleggers.
Yeah. Now they're trying to justify it to themselves. They're saying it's ugly and all that. It's time to get rid of it. Now Ben thinks he's going to lose the medal and all that, and then they're showing off all the different medals that everybody got. Like Aaron got sewing, funniest costume. Mary Ellen got for racing. Jason's was for the harmonica playing. All these different stuff. So, yeah. Then John Boy comes by and he talks about how much he hates the man. And saying what
he's a good judge of character.
Yeah. They agree with him, but the women agree with him, but apparently John would say he's going to go off to chop some firewood and all that. John Boy's writing. Oh, Jason's coming in to study now, spelling words there. But he still doesn't tell him. He asks John Boy if he wrote a story, if he'd read it, like John Boy would turn that down. Like he probably didn't even have to ask him that ahead of time. Of course, John Boy would read it. Then John comes over here, talks to him. It tells him about the father there. And they tell him what Cousin Polonius told him. And he's coming to take he came to ask him if he could borrow the star. This was funny reaction from Olivia there. When he asked what he got, he goes, "It's a present for the Baldwin sisters." He goes, "You're not bringing that moonshine with," like pretty much told me, "You're not bringing that shit in this house." But then she realized maybe it's
give her 5 seconds.
What?
She wishes once she saw what it was, she wishes it was bootleg whiskey.
Yeah, but she thought it was bootleg whiskey. Like she just assumed it was bootleg whiskey there. Then Grandpa thinks it's just a big old piece of coal. He tells us the star. Then he tells him what Cousin Polonius is going. He goes, that scumbag is still in town. Then that's when he hops out of bed, gets dressed all full of energy there to head over there.
Yeah.
Then
nothing like hearing someone you hate is back in town to stir up the juices.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee there's some sort of history between him and Polonius.
Yeah. So now here they're dismantling the still and all that. Polonius is telling us no matter. It's no matter of his. It's a family matter and all that. And he's trying to tell him he's trying to scound them out of their happy inheritance. But then he mentions Sheriff what's his face. I can't remember his name. Oh yeah, I could probably play this here.
As light as a feather and landed here, and if it did bring any kind of a message, it was enjoy, not destroy.
Oh, yes, Mr. Walton, that's exactly the message Sister and I received.
And the message that come through was not one of sinfulness or wickedness. It was the star wished to find a lovely, happy home to make its landing in.
Yeah, it did find a lovely, happy home. You know, they could have probably gotten a lot of money for that star if they sold it to a university.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
What could be more of? appropriate than the Baldwin place.
Oh, Mr. Walton.
Yeah, that could be
Papa
such a
himself
sweetheart.
could not have said it
But
better.
yeah, he could be conniving there.
You are making a terrible mistake, ladies. I am
Yeah, just like that, this whole plan's getting thrown away just by Grandpa's lecture.
shocked that you would let an outsider come between Baldwins.
Oh, Cousin Polonius, Sister and I both know that you're concerned only with what is best for us.
Thank you much.
Yeah, who would name their kid fucking Polonius? Is that like an old school name or something?
It must be.
Because this is the first time I ever heard of that name, and like, if I was named Polonius, I'd have to kick my own ass.
Must not be influenced by a stranger.
But here's the thing: they trust Zeb more than him because Zeb's not a stranger to them. They know Zeb way better than they probably know him, because he's way off in Richmond, which is a good probably 3-4 hours away. Back in those days,
I'm sure Zeb is a good reason why Polonius there had to run off to Richmond in the first place.
Probably.
I spoke to Sheriff Bridges on the way over.
Here, just watch this guy right here.
Right. He did say he's coming by to see the star in a few minutes, didn't he?
Oh, how
Grabs
very
his
nice.
head and just slowly walks out the door.
Now, where's Colonel Henderson?
You said the
gone,
magic
Cousin
word.
Polonius?
So they knew that the game was up. So they just leave there.
That's the type of guy that knows law enforcement is going to recognize him on sight.
Yeah, and now they're gonna have some of the 1925 and 27 from Grandpa himself. They're having a good time laughing about how he just kind of scooted away there when he mentioned Sheriff Briggs. And then all the kids are back there. They're all happy. They're gonna put Ben's medal right in the center of the thing. Oops. Yeah. They're all proud of him and all that. And now I think we're at the epilogue.
And the constant revelation of all that lies.
All right. We'll just play from
You
here.
must work mighty hard for this, son.
I did. Didn't I, John Boy?
Sure did, champ.
Oh, shoot.
Well, you come on over here with me. I'll show you the work. We're just going to put that right
For 7
here.
kids,
Dead center.
that's an awfully small trophy set.
Congratulations,
case.
son.
Thank you, Daddy.
Looks like one each.
Yeah.
It was not every day that a star fell on Walton's mountain, but nearly every day brought some small miracle. The beauty of the turning seasons, the wonder of growth, and the constant revelation of all that lies in the human heart. Over it all loomed the unfailing love of our mother and father, more constant than the stars in their courses.
All right.
What holds a star up in the sky?
All right. And that's the end of it there, except they're asking, like, what keeps the star in the sky, but I don't think they really even answered that.
They couldn't have given him the right answer at that point anyway. John Boy's a writer, not an astrophysicist. As far as he knows, gravity is just a word.
Yeah. So what did you think of this episode?
Sort of drawn out at times, but pretty good.
Oh, I liked this episode a lot there. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 just because, it's a little bit older, but it was really well written, even though there's some words I didn't quite understand at times, but I was able to figure it out. I thought it was well paced, good music, good story, it was entertaining. I'm going to give it a 10. If anything, a 9.5 out of 10. It's the best episode so far.
Yeah, they're getting better for the Waltons, and judging it for what it is, I'd have to say 8.
8. Is that with the props for their shooting star effect?
They're probably getting a half point courtesy for the star.
Okay. Ooh, we got a good episode coming up on 2 episodes from now. The boy from the CCC, but that's 2 weeks from now. But our next episode's called The Sinner. The Waltons welcome a visiting preacher and his mentor and a fiery missionary. That sounds interesting. So, ooh, we got a few good episodes coming up. Oh, I remember a lot of these episodes here. Like we got the literary man when a writer comes there and he teaches John Boy there. We got the ceremony. I just look at some of these episodes up ahead of us. I don't remember some of these other ones. So yeah, we got a few good episodes coming up. So, all right, is there anything you want to say before we end this?
Just tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Saturday morning cartoons.
Alrighty there. Thank you, Pop Culture, for swinging by. Make sure to check out Pop Culture Curator. He does Star Trek the Animated Series on Mondays there. We're reviewing Star Trek the Animated Series, and we're having a poll next Monday here on the next episodes we're going to watch. And then on Tuesdays, he can be found on Anti-Derivative Jill's channel, where they review Star Trek the Original Series. Tuesday, they're doing the Alternative Factor. And then on Wednesdays, me and him do Star Trek, or not Star Trek, Gilligan's Island reviews. Now, for my next few streams there, tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a Random Thoughts with Gorilla there. It might be more of a rant because I got to do this one here because it's kind of dealing with events going on nowadays. But then, so yeah, then I'll be doing Babylon 5 watch party tomorrow night. Then on Sunday we are watching 1984, from the year 1984. Who stars in that one there, Germ, again?
That would be John Hurt.
John Hurt, okay. The John Hurt 1984. See, I've seen the one from 1956. But I think the 1984 one might be way better because everything will look a lot more modern day here. Then
yeah, it'd look better, and quite frankly, John Hurt is most of the selling point.
Yeah. Then next week I should have another Random Thoughts with Gorilla. I'm not going to promise any time or dates in there just in case something happens. Then Wednesday we do Stranger Things, and then Thursdays we'll do The Sinner. Now with that, I'm going to end it, and remember to be a gorilla.